In a busy town called Akimbo, there was a woman named Mama Kemi. She was famous for selling delicious Nigerian food from her wheelbarrow. Every morning, she pushed her wheelbarrow through the streets, calling out to customers. People came from different towns just to buy from her. Whether it was jollof rice, egusi soup, pounded yam, or akara, her food tasted like no other. But there was something strange about Mama Kemi. She never sold her food without her giant dog beside her. The dog was as black as the night, with glowing red eyes. It was taller than most dogs and worked silently beside her. No one dared to go near it. Some people believed the dog was just a pet, while others whispered that it was her protector. But no one truly knew the secret behind the dog. Mama Kemi's business was different from others. No matter how many food sellers were in the market, her food was always the most popular. Even on days when others struggled to sell, Mama Kemi's wheelbarrow was always empty before noon. It was as if something magical pulled people towards her food. The more they ate, the more they returned. Some people found it strange. Why was Mama Kemi so successful? Why did she never have a bad day in business? Some sellers had been in the market for years, yet they struggled. But Mama Kemi, who had only been selling for a few years, had become richer than most. What was her secret? No one could tell. But what the people of Akimbo didn't know was that Mama Kemi's dog was not an ordinary animal. It was the reason behind her wealth. And soon, the town would learn the dark truth. Mama Kemi's dog was not just a friend. It was not just a pet. It was her source of power. Whenever she worked with the dog, her business flourished beyond imagination. The moment she set her wheelbarrow down, customers would come running. It didn't matter if they were hungry or not, they just had to buy her food. What they didn't know was that each meal came with a price. The moment they swallowed the food, something deep inside them changed. They felt weak, their dreams became blurry, and their lives seemed to slow down. But they could never explain why. The dog had a job. It was not just following Mama Kemi, it was watching the people. Every person who ate from her food lost something, their destiny. One by one, Mama Kemi collected the destinies of the people, trading them for her wealth and success. She didn't need to pray or struggle. As long as the dog was with her, her life remained sweet. At night, Mama Kemi would sit alone with the dog, whispering strange words. Sometimes, people passing by her house could hear the dog making low, rumbling sounds, not barking, just a deep, airy growl that sent chills down their spines. The dog was no ordinary creature. It was a spirit, a powerful force that kept Mama Kemi at the top of her trade. But the people of Akimbo had no idea. All they saw was a hardworking woman and her loyal dog. And as the days passed, more and more people fell into her trap. Among the many people in Akimbo, there was an old man named Baba Fatai. He was a wise herbalist, known for his knowledge of the spiritual world. He had seen many things in his life, but nothing puzzled him more than Mama Kemi and her dog. One evening, as he sat outside his small shop, he watched Mama Kemi walking down the street with her dog. People ran towards her as usual, buying her food as if they had no control over their actions. He narrowed his eyes and shook his head. "This is not ordinary," he muttered to himself. He had noticed something strange. People who ate from Mama Kemi's food always returned, but they seemed different. Some of them, once full of life, became dull. Some young men who once had big dreams now wandered around, confused about their future. Even children who ate from her food stopped doing well in school. It was as if something was missing from them. Baba Fatai knew he had to find out the truth. But how? Mama Kemi was powerful, and her dog was always watching. If he made one wrong move, he could become her next victim. He decided to be patient. He would watch, he would listen, and he would wait. One day, the truth would reveal itself. And when that day came, Akimbo would never be the same again. The day of revelation came sooner than anyone expected. One afternoon, as Mama Kemi was walking down the street with her wheelbarrow full of steaming food, something unexpected happened. A loud screeching sound filled the air, followed by a heavy thud. A car had hit something on the road. People turned to see what it was. It was Mama Kemi's dog. The giant black dog had been hit by a speeding car. The impact was so strong that it rolled several times before it came to a stop. People screamed in shock. Some rushed forward, but before anyone could touch the dog, something terrifying happened. Mama Kemi let out a loud, piercing scream. She dropped her wheelbarrow and clutched her head. Her body began to shake violently, and she fell to the ground. People watched in horror as she started rolling on the floor, screaming and laughing at the same time. "I am finished! I am finished!" she cried. Tears streamed down her face as she hit her head against the ground. She suddenly started speaking in a strange voice, a voice that didn't sound like hers. "They are gone. My power is gone. My wealth is gone. I have used them all. I have eaten them all." The crowd gasped. What was she saying? What did she mean by used them all? Some people stepped back in fear, while others whispered to each other. Mama Kemi continued shouting. She pointed at different people in the crowd. You were supposed to be rich, but I took your destiny. You were supposed to travel abroad, but I swallowed your future. Your children, oh, your children should have been great, but I turned them into nothing. The people screamed in shock. Some fell to their knees in tears, realizing that their lives had been ruined by the food they had eaten. Others ran away in fear. Baba Fatai stepped forward. He had been watching everything. He took a deep breath and raised his hands. "The truth has been revealed," he said. Mama Kemi was never ordinary. She used us, and now her time is up. The dog let out one final, weak growl before closing its eyes forever. As soon as it died, Mama Kemi let out one last scream before collapsing. She lay there, her body twitching, her mouth foaming. She had gone mad. That day, Akimbo would never forget. The once beloved food seller, the woman everyone trusted, had been exposed as a destiny thief. The people wept for their stolen lives, but it was too late. And Mama Kemi, she never recovered. She was taken away, muttering strange words, laughing and crying at the same time. And from that day, no one ever saw her again.